welcome to another episode of Love and Gratitude and Disclaimer. Hello, everyone, welcome to our first episode together. I'm super excited. I'm Rookie, and here we have Clay. Clay is my friend from the US. He lives in Florida, right?
Yeah,
And
yep.
Clay and I, we met in Spain in 2021. And since then, we are friends and we started connecting again, I think a few months ago, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
we started connecting again because we had no contact somehow, but we were still following each other on Instagram. But all of a sudden, somehow we started connecting again, and we found out that we both wanted to start a podcast. And since then, we are on this journey together because Clay has a podcast too. As you know, I have a podcast, Love and Gratitude, and the a podcast of Clay is Disclaimer, so you should check it out. And I'm very happy that you're here. So welcome again to our first podcast episode. Today we're gonna talk about our financial problems and our situation right now because Clay and I, we are both unemployed. I mean, we can kind of say like we're self-employed, right? Are we self? Yeah,
Yeah.
we are self-employed, and yeah, I think it's a problem that we all struggle. I think, especially young people, because my friends they studied and they did their masters and everything, but they're also unemployed because it's so difficult to find a job here in Germany, especially because of the financial crisis and because of the economical crisis here. I don't know how it is in the US, but we're gonna talk about this, and I'm super excited. And I would now give you the word, and maybe you can start telling your story. Like, how is your situation right now with work, Clay?
Yeah. Thank you for the intro. That was beautiful. So I'll give you guys a brief rundown. So currently I am working part-time, but for the past year, I've been looking for new work because I just graduated with my MBA and I was looking to go more into marketing. And what I've recognized is that specifically in Florida and I would say in general, in terms of the location that I'm at, it's tough. There's not a lot of opportunity and work. Um, I would say some of the few things that I'm doing now that I've changed is my strategy. So I used to be a little bit more narrow-minded with my approach to finding a job, finding new work, finding connecting with people, setting up meetings and stuff. So what it taught me was a lot of patience, and that I sometimes you think you're ready, but God's got other plans, and you are learning something along the way.
Definitely,
So
yeah, definitely.
so that's kind of where I'm at in terms of what I'm doing now, what I'm looking for. But one thing that I recognized a lot lately is that your job is not tied to your worth.
Mm-hmm.
It can be, sure.
Wow.
But
Mm-hmm.
for me specifically, I recognized a job is simply an exchange in value.
Mm-hmm.
You're providing someone else with a service if you're working for someone else,
Mm-hmm.
or vice versa. They're providing you with a little bit of a service. So something I've been trying to remind myself is that like I've been trying to remind myself the bigger picture.
Mm-hmm.
That sure, it is a little bit stressful that I don't work or the work that I want, sort of thing. But the bigger picture is I've been trying to remind myself that I am more than my work, and tying myself to work.
Definitely, yeah.
It's been something that I've been practicing. So I'm curious, kind of turn this more back to you.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me more about your story, if you resonate with that at all.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you jump in.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. We are more than our work. And I'm also on this journey of finding myself because work was always a part of my life. I started working when I was 14, and I was working as a waitress in a restaurant for almost 10 years, and that is a lot. Like, that's so much, and imagine you work for 10 years in a restaurant, and that restaurant was not really good for me because it was a toxic environment. And later I decided to yeah, get out of that place because it was not fitting my personality and also my style, you know, my life. And it was not a good job. It was very hard and difficult, and also it was yeah, going on my nerves and also on my body because I always had problems. And sometimes when I came back home, I even cried because it was so horrible for me because of the energies there of that restaurant. It was a German restaurant, traditional restaurant. I mean, um, I also, of course, had some good days, but most of the time it was not good for me because of my personality. It was not fitting my personality because I don't drink alcohol, I don't do parties, I don't eat that. You know, I don't eat what they're selling there, and it's not my yeah, it doesn't fit me at all. So I was not a part of that place, so I decided to get out of this place. Actually, I had a good income because of yeah, of their payments. It was because we had also the possibility to get our tips, so it made a lot of difference. But yeah, as I said, it was very toxic and it was not my kind of work. So later on, I decided to get out of that place again. And I started to look for another job as a working student because as a student you have the possibility, the chance to go into a company and to apply as a working student and to work a job that usually normal people work. For example, people who are already done with their university degree, whatever. So you can have kind of like experience and also an income. And I started to apply, and I think I'm in my fifth or sixth month now. I think fifth month, and still I have no job. So it takes a lot of time. And not only that, I mean, I had some meetings before, but I got so many rejections. And okay, I had like three meetings, and two of them they rejected me. I got rejected by them, and one I rejected because it was so far away, and I didn't know that. So yeah, and for 5 months, I'm receiving so many rejections, and it's kind of not working. And then I'm questioning what is wrong. You know, what is wrong with me? And as you said, but work doesn't define us, and we. I mean, you know, I'm very old school as a woman. I think I don't have to work at all. And then I'm kind of like my ego tells me, Rookie, you don't have to work anymore at all because you worked for 10 years already. And now you can rest and but I'm still so young, and of course I need to earn money because yeah, we have goals, we have some dreams to chase, and we want to buy ourselves some things. Especially as a woman, you have so many needs, and that's why it's difficult because your parents, of course, support you, but at some point they don't. Yeah, they can't meet your needs at some point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so we are kind of forced to work, and that's okay, but I kind of don't want to work anymore because of the experience I had there. But I'm of course open for a new experience, for a new job, for new people, because I want to meet new people. But it is difficult, like it is difficult to have no job and to have no income because yeah, you're forced to receive what your parents give you, and it's not as much as you have as you would earn when you would have a job, you know. So yeah.
Hmm. I'm curious. I think the audience would really benefit from knowing this. How long have you been out of work from the restaurant?
I think 5 or 6 months. It was end of September. 5 months, yeah.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
didn't know if that aligned that because I know that you mentioned that earlier. So, just out of curiosity, what do you think that you feel like you've learned most from working in the restaurant industry? I know it can be like long hours.
Oh my god. You know what? That is a topic for another episode, but I'm more curious about what you're learning from the situation of being unemployed right now because it's a difficult time, right? Having no money, having no income. I mean, yeah, of course, you have more time for yourself, and that's the good part. That's the good side, but the bad side is that you have no income. So, where do you get the money from, Clay?
Yeah, right now, like I mentioned, I'm working part time. So I'm working at a health and wellness center. I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
sales, so I'm getting commission, and I'm also hourly. So I'm getting some money from there.
Mm-hmm.
But then, as you mentioned, I'm also receiving a little bit of compensation from my family,
Mm-hmm.
which they can only give you so much, especially as you get older, because they have other, for me, for example, my parents have other kids that they got to support. They got to put
Mm-hmm.
them through college. They got to
Mm-hmm.
provide them with, housing, food, and
Mm-hmm.
a million other things like going to the doctor, dentist, and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. So from that standpoint, it puts a lot of pressure on, or I put a lot of pressure on myself because of that. It's like I want to be able to provide for myself because I know what I'm capable of, and I want to excel and continue to build my career.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of something that I kind of catch myself coming back to.
Mm-hmm.
Like I recognize that your career is not just built in one day. It's
Mm-hmm.
obviously built over the course of time. But when you and me are in a similar situation where we're not able to find work,
Mm-hmm.
so it's sometimes it's hard to keep your head up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But
exactly.
so I'm just curious, like, you know, what sorts of work are you looking for?
I would like to work a job that is related to my studies. I'm studying sustainability and economy, by the way, and I would like to work a job that is related to my to sustainability, especially because I was always interested in sustainability and environment, and yeah, but it's super difficult. But you know what, Clay? Here in Germany, it is very, very hard to get a job, especially these days because of the financial crisis we have here and the economical crisis. So many of my friends, they're super young, but they're unemployed. And many people say, oh, you can go there through relationships because of vitamin relationship. We call vitamin B here, Beziehung. So it's called relationship. So when you know someone in that company, that person can help you to get into that company too. But it doesn't work that way anymore because I tried that before, but it's not working because they are no they are not accepting anyone anymore because they don't have the capabilities, the companies. And so many companies, they move abroad because of the high costs here in Germany. Energy costs, for example, or power costs, everything is so expensive now that companies, they are moving abroad, to cheaper countries, and it's super difficult to get a job. You can work, for example, low level jobs. I don't know if you know what I mean, like lower level jobs. For example, as a cashier or cleaner, or yeah, stuff like this. But of course, I'm not looking for this. Or as a waitress or waiter, you can work everywhere. But when you want a good job in a company, it's very difficult. And you know what this situation teaches me? It teaches me to be more patient. And you know what, Clay? Actually, this situation is telling me, Rookie, start your own business. Rookie, start your own business. So I'm more like having this idea of starting my own business. I don't know actually how and about what I should start my business, but yeah, I don't know. It will lead me to something. Yeah.
It's so interesting that you say that because I think a lot of people who, like for example, myself, looking for a job. I'm
Mhm.
not where I want to be yet, so
Mhm.
I'm pursuing different things that I'm
Mhm.
interested in. For
Mhm.
example, creating my own business,
Mhm.
and narrowing exactly that down and trying to differentiate. That's a hard word to say. Differentiate myself or like my business
Mhm.
from other people is kind of something that I think holds me back. And I was
Mhm.
curious, like, if something like that, like if you end up like kind of getting in your head about a certain idea in terms of a business that you want to start,
Mhm.
and then like do you ever hold yourself back?
Of course,
Um,
of course. I
does
think
that
you
make
too,
sense?
right? I think we all have this.
Yeah.
Do you have that too? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. But you know what? We have to be confident. We
Hmm.
always have to be confident in everything. Because we have to start taking accountability and responsibility. So let's just do this. I have no idea actually how to do this, but I want to start something with AI because I'm
Oh,
super interested in AI. And yeah, but let's see, you know? Yeah.
Well, just out of curiosity, what do you think you'd kind of jump into with AI? Like, is there something that
I
stands
have
out?
no
Like,
idea, really, Clay. I have no idea. I don't know. I have
okay.
to ask ChatGPT. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
That that
you know what's another problem? That I don't have friends, or yeah, the people around me, they're not interested in stuff like this. So for me, it's more difficult to get into that, because I don't have friends who are interested in AI or who are interested in starting a business. So I'm completely alone in this. So I have no idea. I don't know. So if you're interested in AI or starting a new business, let me know. Let's do this together.
Yeah, hit her up. Give her a call. So, what oh, I wanted to ask you a specific question that slipped my mind.
It's okay. Can I ask you something first? Do you believe?
Sure.
Okay, so do you believe that you're gonna get the job of your dreams?
No.
No?
I think like the next step, this is the way I've been kind of looking at it, and I'll tell you why. So, I'll tell you why I say no. So,
Okay.
I know that I will get there, but I don't think that the next job will be the job of my dreams because I think for a while I looked at it like, oh, the next job will be the job of my dreams, and I'm gonna like continue to work up. I think the next job will be a little bit more, it'll humble me a little bit. I think I'll end up jumping into it and I'll be like, oh, not that I don't have a strong work ethic, but I think it'll be different than what I expect. So I try not to set expectations in terms of, oh, this is going to be my dream job because X, Y, or Z. I think eventually, like, this is what I was trying to get at earlier. Like, your career is kind of something you build. It's not like the next step
Yeah.
is the end. So in saying all that, the reason that I say no, the next job won't be my dream job is simply because I need to develop new skills and learn more.
Yeah, that's true.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's true. I I agree with you. Yeah. But I
Yeah.
believe I believe that there's a possibility of finding your dream job. Because you know what I've heard, that your dream job is a mix of your hobby and a job, a real job. So it has to be related to your hobby, because that is the perfect job for you. That would be your dream job. Something that you enjoy to do, and where you have your income. So this is what I heard, and I'm looking for this. I want to do something where I have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's so interesting because I agree with you 100%. And it seems like not that I'm giving up on that because I am still pursuing like kind of like a new position where I'm involved in work that work and then also enjoyable, kind of like a
Yeah.
fun
Yeah.
culture and like kind of like aligning with my passion. Um, but it seems like sometimes at least me personally, I can get a little like narrow minded. I could be like, oh, this is the dream job. And then, if I don't land that job, or like over the course of time, you interview and different things, you don't land that job, you pivot. And I just lately, well, I guess, what I've been trying to get to is I've been pivoting my strategy because trying to find that dream job hasn't, I haven't landed it yet, obviously. So,
Can you please explain what that means, pivoting, for the audience?
yeah. So pivoting kind of just means realigning your strategy or changing what you're doing, basically. So I'll give you an example, like in terms of like work. So a while ago, I was solely focused on branding, strategy, marketing positions. And I was jumping ahead of myself. So I had to pivot. So I had to change my strategy. And basically when I say jumping ahead, I was applying for roles that I wasn't experienced enough, if that makes sense. So I
Really?
had to kind of pivot and pull
Oh.
back. So basically I was just jumping ahead in terms of like the job that I wanted. So I just had to like realize line and kind of like look at the like look at the job that person had before, sort of thing, because I was like jumping for like a management position when I needed to get more of like a specialist position to get experience. And then this is just my experience. I don't know if I'm doing it right, wrong. I don't know that there is a right or wrong way, but this is kind of just what I'm doing right now. But in saying all this, I wanted to ask you, what are you what are you doing to kind of move forward?
You know,
Like, are you?
yeah, let me
Go
be
ahead.
honest to you. I sent so many applications to so many companies, but I received so many rejections, and I kind of stopped doing that. Like, I kind of stopped applying because I didn't give up. I didn't give up yet. I didn't give up, but I have no hope anymore, kind of. Is that giving up? I don't know. I don't know. I want to leave that open, but I kind of have. I don't have this energy anymore because in the back of my mind, I'm like, it's my ego actually, and my ego tells me, "Oh, rookie, you will get a rejection again." But then I'm like, no, I will never stop. I will never stop applying. I will get a job, and but you know what? The other side tells me again, rookie, you don't want to work at all anymore, so why are you applying? So it's always like this duality, the duality between this yes and this no. So I have no idea. I must admit that since 2 weeks I didn't send any applications anymore, and I still have the tabs open on my browser, but I still didn't apply. Maybe I will do that like right after our episode together because you gave me kind of that motivation. Because I have this mindset of never giving up, you know, and I'm unstoppable because I believe that success comes from not giving up. This is my belief. I believe that one day you will find the perfect job when you never give up. And you know what I did? My strategy is to build a good LinkedIn account, a profile, so I can kind of like connect myself with other people from that company and text them on LinkedIn. But actually, I had a super new LinkedIn profile, and now I have already 120 connections, and I'm super proud of it because I'm literally sending everyone a connection. How do you call it on LinkedIn? Not following each other, but like this connection. The connection button. And yeah, I'm trying to build a good LinkedIn profile, and that is my personal strategy for getting a new job. And yeah, I'm trying to, yeah, connect with people, from the companies. And yeah, but it's very, very difficult. And I'm not trying to give up, but I have no energy anymore. Like, really, I have no energy. So, Clay, to come back to your question, I have this feeling of not moving forward, but I'm moving forward, because every day is a new day, every day is a new possibility, a new chance to go out to meet people, and maybe you will never know where a new door will open. So I have this kind of like hope, but not hope, and energy and not energy. I'm like in between. I don't know. I don't know what to do.
Oh, the number one, the only way to fail is to quit, as everybody knows,
Yeah.
and everything else is just a part of the
Yeah.
story. So, but number two, go connect with Rookie on LinkedIn. We'll put the link below.
Yeah.
Help her with her
Yeah, my
following.
name is Rukiye Karaja on LinkedIn, so you can check it out. Check out my profile.
Yeah, we'll put the link below. And then number three, I wanted to say, if you haven't listened to her previous episode on the ego, as she was talking about the ego, definitely go check that out because that's pretty insightful. Um, because it's something that I'm sure it affects me, it affects everybody. I'm sure if you're human listening, you probably have an ego.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I mean, in saying all that, so your advice in terms of some things that have worked, LinkedIn, if you were to add one more piece of advice that's worked for you, like one strategy, you're like, you know what, this helped me land an interview. You know what, like,
Yeah.
what would that be?
Experience.
Mm,
Experience, work experience, because I worked in Spain before. I worked in that restaurant. I worked as a cashier. I worked so many jobs before. Like in between, I mean, I worked for 10 years, almost 10 years in that restaurant, but in between, I was always trying to work new jobs and gain new experience for my CV, you know? So that is one thing. Um, yeah, that is what my advice to gain a lot of experience, job experience. But you know, right now the companies they have a new mentality. They have a new yeah, a new kind of recruitment strategies, recruiting strategies. So I have no idea, but you know, due to the problems here in Germany, it's overall very difficult to get a new job, and I'm very unsure about this. And how is it in the US? And what kind of advice would you give to the people there?
Mm. Well, just to kind of add on what you were just saying, you got to be so good that they can't ignore you, you
Yeah.
know. So it's so similar over here in the United States, especially Florida. Everybody wants to live in Florida, so because it's sunshine, the beach, and all that. It's so similar down here, especially. I've been looking kind of all up and down the East Coast, but I mean, I'd say I've spread it out. It's been That's kind of another thing that I wanted to recommend. If you can, you know, look in different locations where you want to live
Mm-hmm.
for
Yeah.
just new, you know,
Definitely.
and that's something that I've been trying to remind myself because as uncomfortable as it is to move, if there's something telling you, "Oh, move here," you
Just
may
do it.
regret it. Yeah, do it. You
Yeah,
may
just do it.
regret
Yeah.
doing it.
Get out of your comfort zone.
Get out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you one question real quick. Have you used like ChatGPT or anything to touch up your resume or for cover
Yes,
letters?
of
Is that
course, of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah. To, you know, to save time. Yeah, yeah, of course. I'm using AI in general. Yeah.
What's interesting? I want to ask you, do you think the recruiters are using AI or anything to kind of summarize your
Of course, they're using, and I know this very well because we in my studies we're also having we're discussing about these kind of topics, but I would now end this episode right now because I would talk about this in our next episode about the AI and stuff like this, because our time is short. If I don't know if you noticed, but yeah, do you have anything more to say?
No, take action.
Take
That's my
action, yeah,
advice.
that's it. And never give up.
Yeah, never give up. Step outside your comfort zone.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Okay, so that was it from our side, and thank you so much for listening. If you have any insights or yeah, any comments, please let us know. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a like if you like this episode. And thank you so much for being here. It was so much fun. Clay, thank you so much for your time, and see you next time, I would say.
Thank you so much, Ricky. Beautiful intro and
Yeah,
an even more beautiful closing. So I
yeah.
really appreciate it.
Me
It's good talking.
too. Me too. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye,
And
guys.
stay in love and gratitude as always, okay?
There we go. Love
Okay,
it.
ciao.